Previously on Wandering Wagners.
You definitely are not sneaking up on anybody with them bright-ass pants. People are probably wondering about our refrigerator.
Yes.
Because in a fairly recent video, we were complaining that it wasn't working. We've had our share of Bluetti power stations. And
yeah.
Now we've got this. This is the AC300 with 2 B300 batteries.
Wow.
This is a monster. This thing is huge.
What are we going to use this for?
Well, we have our portable power stations that we take with us when we're boondocking, dry camping, whatever you want to call it. And those are great for that. This, you could take it with you in an RV. However, we're using this at our home.
Yes.
This is going to back up our house because when we're gone, we don't want our refrigerator or our 2 freezers to stop working.
Correct.
And it also would be great for when we are home if power goes out.
True. And we like to take the more portable power stations with us. So those features of UPS are great, but when we take them with us, it leaves things at home compromised.
It does. So this has a bunch of outlets on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 20 amp outlets, and then a 30 amp outlet.
Okay.
So we're going to use this 30 amp outlet to feed our breaker box. So looking at your typical Bluetti power station, this contains an MPPT solar charger. It contains your battery charger and your inverter and a battery. The AC300, this right here, does not contain a battery. Without the batteries, this does nothing. This has 2 solar charge controllers in it.
Oh.
And the inverter and the AC charger.
Wow.
So by itself, this can't operate. You have to have at least one of these B300 batteries.
Okay, that makes sense.
The AC300 has a 3,000 watt pure sine wave inverter with a 6,000 watt surge. You can go up to 4 of the B300 batteries, which would give you a total of 12,288 watt hours. The batteries have a 3,500 plus life cycles to 80% battery life. You can do 240 volt split phase bonding if you get 2 of the AC300s. You can use it as a 24/7 UPS home backup. It will support up to 2,400 watts of solar input. It has fast dual charging of 5,400 watts with solar and AC. These cables that you use to connect your battery to the AC300 are super heavy duty. And they lock too, so you don't accidentally pull them out.
Yeah.
To remove it, you unlock, just press the button, pull it out.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And when you connect it, just push it in, locks, and then push the lock button again, just so you don't accidentally push the button. That's it, you're connected. Bluetti does this program called Lighting an African Family. So every time you purchase an AC300, they donate a power station, a solar panel, and I think it's 3 LED lights.
Right, to a family in Africa, which I think is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, because I opened this up, I read a little bit about it, and I was like, oh, that looks really neat. I didn't realize that
it's like a trophy.
Yeah, it's glass.
Yeah, I mean, look at how cool that is. And we help support an African family.
You also get all of your user manuals, you get all of your cables. You've got cables to connect solar, like this. You got your AC cable. You've got your car charging cable. Now, I did get the home integration kit, so it comes with some 30 amp cables.
Oh, okay.
You'll see here coming up what I'm going to use these for, but like I said, I'm going to use the 30 amp outlet to feed our breaker box.
Okay.
To feed the breaker box, this is a transfer switch made by Reliance. You can order this directly through Bluetti. You can order it all together just as a kit. It's a home integration kit.
Okay.
What you get here, it's 10 circuits. So you got 10 breakers here. Now this is set up for 240 volt. This is double pole breakers. So I went ahead and just bought 4 15 amp breakers I'm going to be replacing these with.
Okay.
We're not going to run anything 240 volt, plus we'd have to get another AC300 to do that.
Yeah.
We don't need to run our hot tub or anything like that.
Aww.
If we're on backup power, I only want to run the essential stuff. Some lights, some outlets, but for sure, the refrigerator and our 2 freezers.
Absolutely.
For your application, you're going to have to decide what you deem to be essential. But looking at our breaker box, I already decided which circuits that we want to use as backup power. 3,000 watts at 120 volts is going to be 25 amps. So we're not going to be able to run everything. Mm-hmm. Plus, that's not the point, right? When we're gone, we don't want food to go bad.
Exactly, it's backup.
And you may wonder, how much power does a certain circuit use, like our garage lights or LEDs? It's super bright in here. I probably will put lights in the backup plan just because I don't want to be in the dark completely. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to be running all 10 of those circuits at the same time.
Right.
We're going to just use lights sparingly if we are in a situation where we're on backup power.
Right, and you know me, I'm constantly turning off the lights.
Yes, you are, and it's annoying.
Hey, I grew up where it's like, turn off the lights.
I don't recommend you getting inside your breaker box if you don't know what you're doing. You should get a licensed, certified electrician. But if you want to know exactly how many amps you're pulling from a certain circuit, you can get something like this. This is a very inexpensive clamp meter, and this will tell me how many amps each circuit is using. That way you know what to expect realistically, what you can run off of a battery backup. This is clamped around the wire for the garage lights, and it's running 6.3 amps. So 6 amps is like 720 watts.
Okay.
So if you've got a 3,000 watt capacity, these lights right now are only using 720-ish,
Right.
because this reading 6.2, 6.3. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of an idea. We've got the TV on in the living room. That'll definitely be a backup circuit. We're running about, it's up and down. It's so important, 6 amps, it was up to 1.4 amps. There's 1 amp.
It's all over. But
So you can kind of do an audit and see how much power you're going to be using. I have to decide where I want to mount the transfer switch. I want it somewhere convenient, but not in the way.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and get together a plan and get things starting to install, and then we'll just pick it up from there. One of the smaller power stations to test this out. On this circuit, this is for the garage lights in here. Obviously it's dead. Right now it's in the line position, but power is cut off. So if we go up to Gen, let there be light. I got the AC300 and the 2 B300s installed here in the corner of the garage because that's where our breaker panel is.
Right.
So I thought closer is better.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be worse. It's going to be easier.
So this is just always waiting, just silently sitting and waiting for the power to go out, and it's ready. When you get the home integration kit, you get this transfer switch. This is a 30 amp, 10 circuit transfer switch. And when we first showed you this, there was some double pole breakers here. I did swap them out with just single pole 15 amp breakers because this is not set up for 240 volts. It's just a single phase of 120.
Yeah.
It's all we need. Like I said, we're just trying to back up the essential stuff, not our hot tub.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great if it did include the hot tub, but.
Now, something to note, if you do install this yourself, this plug is set up for 240 volts. And what I mean by that is there's 2 hot legs, a ground and a neutral. So if you do not tie those 2 hot legs together, what will happen is only every other breaker or every other circuit will be hot. So if you're doing what we're doing, just a single phase, you need to tie those 2 legs together. We're feeding power from the AC300 through this 30 amp plug and cable. It goes over here to the transfer switch. We have this 30 amp cable. I had installed this 30 amp outlet, but this cable also came with it, and this charges or powers the AC300. So right now, it's just in pass-through.
Right.
Power is just passing through it and going to the circuits that we have selected. So that way, if power goes out, the UPS, uninterruptible power supply, just kicks in and powers everything.
Nice.
So up here, this top row of switches is where you select what circuits you want to be on: generator, off, or line. Line means it's just fed directly from the grid. Off, obviously, is off. The ones that are flipped in the up position for generator, those are the circuits that we have set to be backed up if power is lost.
Okay.
So the reason why I do that is because if we're gone, then if power goes out, those circuits just automatically are still powered.
Right.
And I made a list.
Ooh, look at it's even laminated.
I know, I wanted to keep it nice. So these are the circuits that we decided were the most important. Our refrigerator, kitchen, living room, hallway lights, because we want lights. Our freezers, we have 2 freezers. Our furnace, there's furnaces on there. Here's one that you may not think of: garage door opener.
Yeah, which that would have been really bad if we're like, oh, we don't have power. Oh, we can't get in.
I know there's that emergency like rope that you pull and you can lift the door, but if we have this, why am I lifting doors?
Right. There's no need for that.
No. The lights in here.
Right.
Because if we lose power and I want to come down and access this stuff, I want to be able to flip a light on.
Right.
Our bedroom lights, our bedroom outlets, our bathroom lights and outlets, and our living room outlets. Being that this AC300 has the ability to connect to the internet, I want to keep the outlets powered that has a lot of our Wi-Fi stuff.
Right. We thought that was pretty essential.
Right, because if we leave, I can look at the app and I can see if we lost power, if we lost grid power. I can see what the state of charge is on the batteries.
Right.
And I can even turn this off if I want to.
Right. Which that's a good feature to have, because who knows when we would get back if there was an outage, if we were out of town.
Mm-hmm. The display is super easy to read. You can see right now we've got 151 watts being used. We have 1400 coming in because the battery's at 99%, so it's doing a little bit of a charge. It's topping it off, which it just does automatically. And like you can go through the settings, change the language, output voltage, frequency. This one was the most important to me, the max grid input current. I got it set to 25 amps. You can go as high as 30 amps, but you need a password to access this, which Bluetti will give you the password. But what they want to make sure is that you have a 30 amp power source before you turn that up.
Oh, that makes sense.
Now, I only went to 25 amps because that's all the output that this is capable of, 25 amps.
Right.
And the transfer switch is capable of 30 amps. So I just kept it at 25.
Yeah.
But that allows you to then charge at 25 amps. If I want to kind of simulate a power loss, I guess, what I'm going to do is take the circuit that has these lights. Let's see, that's going to be F on here. Right now it's on line, so it's off of grid power. I'm going to put it all the way up to gen.
Okay.
Lights flickered.
Yeah, just a quick little flick.
Slightly. So now we have circuits that are powered through the transfer switch. We got the refrigerator, the freezers. What's this one? Lights in here, and our bedroom outlets.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the garage door opener on there too, because I want to see that all this stuff works.
It's a good idea.
We've been playing with this on and off for the past week or two.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting used to what you can and can't do with it.
Right, which is important.
So what I'm going to do, because remember, the power is passing through this at the moment.
Right.
So I'm going to turn off the breaker that feeds the 30 amp outlet. And we'll see if the lights even flicker in here, because the inverter in here should just immediately take over with the UPS function. It was a slight flicker.
Very, very slight.
And you could hear the alarm on here because it's saying that, hey, grid power is lost.
Right, that's what that beep means.
And that's something I would really, really, really like to see in the app, is if this loses power, I would love for Bluetti to do a push notification that says, hey, your power station or your AC300 just lost grid power.
Right.
Because currently, if you do lose power, you don't know.
You just have to look yourself every once in a while. And,
right, you have to go into the app and see if you have power or not.
Which I agree with you. That would be an excellent thing to put in the app.
Right now we have 0 coming in from grid because I turned off the breaker, and we have 950 watts going out.
Right.
So the lights in here is
Those
running
are-
off of the AC300.
Correct.
Still 950 watts, 951. We're gonna open the garage door with the AC300. Yeah, doesn't use that much power.
Yeah. Oh, there's Guy.
Guy come running in. It works.
Yeah, it's going up. Now, we got to see if it also goes down and how much power we'll use to cycle it. Not very much.
Nope. Yeah, back down to less than 1,000. Okay, door's coming down.
I think that was pretty smart of you to think of the garage door.
Like we said previously, you can connect this to your RV because it has the 30 amp outlet.
Yep.
Or you can do what we're doing, get the home integration kit, and it's literally our power core.
Yeah, it's like something that we can depend on when we're out of town. We know that the house, the Wi-Fi, everything is going to stay running. Our freezer, so our food won't go bad, fridge, all that good stuff.
And we could still expand too. We could add 2 more of these batteries, but I guess we have yet to see how long these batteries last.
Yeah, that's something that we are still testing, is how long can it do what it's doing?
Obviously, we're not going to flip on all 10 circuits and have all the lights going and everything if we were to lose power. Lights should be used sparingly.
Yes.
Like just the room you're in, and that's it.
Right, turn everything off when you leave the room, you know, to try to keep everything minimal.
If you're interested in purchasing a Bluetti AC300, which I highly recommend,
Yes.
we have a discount code with Bluetti. It's Wagners AC300. It will get you $100 off.
Yeah, any time to save money is always a good thing with us.
Grid power 0, we're using 1,069 watts, so 1,070, so I'm going to restore power to it.
There it is.
Shows grid power is lit up. Oh, I heard it click.
Yep.
It's running at 1,500 watts, almost 1,600 watts. So it will start charging and doing pass-through power at the same time.
Next time on Wandering Wagners.
And nothing says I love you like
Wieners. Ladies, get you a man who can do it all. Look at him holding on to pipe while he's cooking bacon.